having an attitude, not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, more times than your attitude can be rewarding. Join Eric in his introductory speech, 5 minutes total. He has an attitude. Put your hand together for ATM Silver and incumbent leader, Eric Jacobson.
That's right, I have an attitude. Like it or not. Who else here has an attitude? A lot of attitudes going on here. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our welcome and returning guests. I have an attitude of gratitude. Now, how many people can say that? An attitude of gratitude, just a few less than the first question that I asked. It is critical to have an attitude of gratitude. And if you don't, it's very easy to accomplish. It takes exactly 3 months to do it. And it's very simple, but it's not easy. It involves getting awakened each morning. And month number 1, write down one thing that you're grateful for. Just one thing on a piece of paper before you get out of that bed. Month 2, also easy, but not simple. Write down 2 things on the piece of paper before you get out of bed. And by that 3rd month, you'll write 3 things down on that piece of paper, and you will have what I have, an attitude of gratitude. 3 things I wrote today, in case you're curious. I am grateful for being able to exercise today. Being able to, not have to. I'm thankful for being able to exercise. I'm being able to be pain-free. I'm grateful for being pain-free. Another day of being pain-free. Being able to open my eyes was the 3rd thing I wrote today. To be able to start the day. That's what I was grateful for. An attitude of gratitude. Things I've written in the past in my journal. Grateful for my daughter being released from the hospital after a COVID scare. Being grateful for Weight Watchers. Being grateful for my wife. Being grateful for real friends. And probably the best one is a best friend. Being grateful for a best friend. Well, in case you're curious, the difference between a real friend and a best friend is a real friend will bail you out of jail. Your best friend will be sitting right there next to you in jail. It's smart, right? Think about smart. These are things to be grateful for, and the reason that we want to is because we can have smart goals if we're smart. Take apart that word smart. Think about it. If you have a goal and it's not specific, letter S in smart, if it's not specific, it's not going to work. Let's pretend I wanted to run a marathon. Can I do it if I practice for 5 weeks? Or why do I want to do it? Let's find out why. Is it something I could scratch off my bucket list? Something that I'd feel good about doing? So maybe prove to myself that I could do it? That's the S in smart. The M, is it measurable? Oh sure, marathon 26.2 miles is measurable. But why is it important? How much? How many? Something that makes it measurable is critical when you have a smart goal. Is it achievable? Is that goal within reach? If you haven't exercised or walked or ran in your whole life, you're not going to run a marathon in 5 weeks. Maybe not 5 months. Maybe it won't even happen. But you've got to have something that is achievable for the letter A. Is it relevant? Is your heart in it? Maybe you're not a runner. Maybe you're a swimmer. Maybe you'd rather not run for fun or activity, but you're a swimmer. It's got to be relevant to something that it is that you want to do. Is it worthwhile? It is critically important. Is it the right time of your life to do it? Good gosh. If it's not right, it's not going to happen. And that T is time-bound. What is the time frame for the goal? Again, 5 weeks is not realistic to train for a marathon? 5 months might not be. I'm 65 years old. And for the last 5 years, I've been running a mile or 2 miles or 2.5 miles. And I always wondered, could I run a marathon? April 10th, 2022, I did. It wasn't a full marathon. It wasn't a half marathon. People were thinking that it wasn't great to run 3.2 miles. But it was fine for me. It was a goal for me. Something I could scratch off my bucket list. And something that I did for a charity purpose was my reasoning. So think about your goals. Think about SMART goals. And think about what it is that you can accomplish. If in fact you plan for it. What is it that you're grateful for? An attitude of gratitude is what I'm grateful for. Mr. Toastmaster.